We took out all the quinoa that wasn't really doing anything viable for us this year, and I had a bunch of tomato seedlings that came up, so I planted those, and I'm happy to report that they have survived the heat. This fall I'm going to be moving these medicinal herbs, clary sage and marshmallow, over to one of these shady areas in the garden so that I can utilize this better for food type plants. We have some squash that are starting to grow. So far I've only harvested one spaghetti squash, but hopefully we'll get some more. Got a couple of horseradish plants here. These tomatoes are doing pretty good. They're small, they're babies. Some more herbs, and these are our tomato plants. And you can see they're starting to add some more tomatoes here. We're eating them as they get ripe though. I'm not going to save any to try to do sauce with. I'm just going to eat them because if I don't, I think the rats will get them. And I have a couple of mullein plants that I started from seed that have survived being transplanted. They're actually a desert hardy plant. So they're going to be what ends up living in this really, really hot garden bed where cucumbers did not last. Every year I get a little better at narrowing in what to grow and where to grow it. I moved our celery over here. This garden bed pretty much has shade all year long, and I'm planning to put some parsley back here too. I'm not moving the parsley until it cools off though. And yeah, this was not a good place for squash. You can see the squash grew all the way over here because it wanted more light, right? Back here I have some yarrow that I transplanted, and this seems to be quite hardy and drought tolerant as well. And I have one more yarrow plant that I'd like to move over here. This spot does get pretty warm, even though it does get some shade. This is our lemon tree that's done really well. You can see all these lemons that have set on. We had a little bit of brown rot with this, but I treated the tree and removed the lemons that had that problem, and it seems to be doing just fine, so I'm pretty thankful for that. I've noticed a lot of people's lemons are actually starting to get a little yellow now. I was surprised by that. Normally they don't get yellow until we have colder weather, but we're actually getting quite a few lemons this year. This garden bed is not going to be a garden bed. I'm going to put some kind of garden art in this location. Nothing has lived in this spot, so I'm just wasting my water by having any bubblers here and any plants trying to grow. Put a tomato over here. It's lived. We've almost harvested all these figs. Soon I'm going to be picking these leaves and dehydrating them because they make great tea. So this is a mandarin rootstock, and I grafted this lemon onto here. This one graft definitely made it, and I just kind of take some of these off because I don't want it to get out of control with growing more rootstock. But in the fall, when it cools off, we're going to try to graft more onto this tree. This is a graft that I did that I'm not sure if it's going to do anything. It's still green. What I didn't realize is I had this spot where it could potentially bud out covered with plastic, so I removed that plastic there. So it's possible that could still grow and send leaves out because it looks pretty healthy. That's our definite success right there. Our grapefruit has had a lot of growth this year. We're only getting 2 grapefruits because the critters ate all the babies off, but that allowed the tree to grow, so that's pretty cool. A lot of potential for next year. I'm hoping to graft both the Meyer lemon, this grapefruit, and our kumquat onto this mandarin rootstock that didn't grow mandarins. It was overtaken by the rootstock. So that's on a fall to-do list. We've had really good success with kumquats as well. It's actually putting on quite a few in here. You don't really see them till they get a little bigger. Over here, I recommend not ever growing cat's claw in your garden. Ours never bloomed, so it wasn't really an attractive plant. I do have some tomatoes that I've tucked in this location, and they have survived the heat. These are transplants from the seedlings from the seeds that started germinating because I left them in the water too long. And I thought, well, you might as well plant them, see if you can get a fall crop. We have a couple of watermelon plants here. They seem to have liked this location okay. We had a couple of blooms on. I can't say that they've really done anything. And it looks like I need to treat these. I see some black aphids there. In fact, let's just take this leaf off. We don't need that, do we? And over here, we tried an experiment this year. We planted some sweetness melons, and one of them has actually made a melon. We should probably try that. Maybe today we'll try that and see how it is. We have blooms on some of the other plants, so potentially we could get more. There you go, right back there, sweetness melons. We've harvested our pumpkins. I could tell that they were going to deteriorate if I didn't harvest them. This was a wildflower seed mix from Tractor Supply, and I'm happy to report it came with a lot of basil. Here on this wall we have our Malbec grapes, and they have been rock stars. This is the hottest location in our yard during the summer, and they have done really well. When it cools off and we get some shade, I'll take these protective sleeves off of them. The first year you're supposed to have those on during the heat of the summer. Over here we have a tomatillo. Yay, I love tomatillos. And a lot of eggplants. The eggplants have been very productive this year. Here's one growing right now. I actually harvested two. I tried a new recipe, which it was okay. I didn't really care for it. Mr. Painter didn't complain. And back here we have some more tomato plants. Can you see those down there? We'll see if we have time. More basil, more wildflower mix, lemon balm, peppers that are growing. Yay. There was something eating like everything, probably a rabbit early on. And some of those peppers survived. I'm happy. Lemon basil and a cucumber back here, which is actually, we harvested two really nice big cucumbers and made cucumber sandwiches, and they were wonderful. Look at those blooms. This cucumber is very happy. Well, for today's project, I actually need water really good, and take this wood out of these buckets and put water in them. I don't know if those containers will hold water. I think they might, actually. Because we're going to have a plumber look at a water leak problem we have, and have all of this growing in the heat of the desert. We need water. So wish me luck, wish us luck, wish our plumber success with